So, there is a lot of distrust on both sides here.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I don't know. I guess at this point in time, years later, I just can't even believe that you can say things like, well, look, this is a terrorist group that wants to destroy Israel. I mean, look, the reality we're looking at is that Gaza has been destroyed. And, Piers, you're absolutely right to call out people like Smotrich and Ben Gvir and other far right members of the government. But look, just the Israeli government in general. Look, I thought this was like a perfect example that kind of sums up the whole conflict and what people like me and you have been talking about for quite a while, Piers. So last week, when Israel, after the ceasefire first goes into effect, when Israel accuses Hamas of slow rolling, getting back the remains of dead hostages. All the living hostages have been gotten at this point, but the remains of dead hostages, they say they're slow rolling at. So they immediately say we're going to have the aid that's coming into Gaza. Just after this latest blow up 24 hours ago, Israel announced they're going to suspend aid and distribution. That is the way in which Israel conducts this war. Don't give me any of this BS about there just happen to be some innocent people there. You literally punish the civilian population by denying them aid for the crimes of what Hamas has done, which, by the way, have not even been demonstrated. It's just Israel says Hamas was slow rolling this, or they claim that Hamas violated the ceasefire when there's reporting that contradicts that, but who knows? It's in the cloud of war right now. It's hard to know for sure. But either way, the fact that you just punish the civilian population, Israel has destroyed all of Gaza. Jared Kushner, the Jewish family friend of Benjamin Netanyahu, pro-Israel, representing the most pro-Israel administration in the history of the United States of America. Even he said it looked like a nuclear bomb had gone off. People are sleeping in tents. So, Pierce, me and you, we've been hearing now for 2 years that, essentially Hamas uses these people as human shields. Hamas, they're essentially fair game, and it's on Hamas if they get killed. Israel really doesn't want to, but they're human shields, nothing else we could do. But then you look up and the entire thing is destroyed, and they're denying aid as a weapon of war, a clear example of collective punishment. Now, I'm sure my opponent here would disagree with it being characterized as a genocide, but what do you call that, Piers? You've decided an entire people are just fair game because they're human shields with no onus on you to demonstrate that there were Hamas weapons in every single one of these buildings that we destroyed or anything like that. And you can also just deny aid to a people who have just been decimated for 2 years as a punishment for what their government's done. And then you still have the nerve to call them terrorists and say they want the destruction of Israel. It's just too much for any reasonable person.